Hello everyone and welcome to another video on my channel, non-PokePidge video today. You just got me here, Peter Jenkins, or Pidge, however you want to call me. Just going to be a little bit more serious today because I want to make a lot more people aware of mental health and the issues it can have. There's going to be no editing in this video, it's just going to be me talking to you, no music, no purple suit, nothing. I just want to talk to you directly about an issue that affects many people and people you might not know that it affects. For example, Mind do a survey once every 7 years into people's mental well-being, to be honest. The last survey was 2016, and from that they found that 6 out of 100 people had anxiety, 3 out of 100 people had depression, and 8 out of 100 had a mix of anxiety and depression, which sounds like small numbers, but when you multiply that by the amount of people there are in the UK, they're quite hefty numbers. Only 1 out of 8 of those people actually seek help for it as well. So even though they're relatively small numbers, only 1/8 of those are actually getting help for it. So 7/8 of the people out there that feel like they've got these issues aren't getting help at all, and that's not great. It's definitely not great when 20 out of 100 people have had suicidal thoughts at some point in their lives. So that's 1/5 of people they surveyed have had that, but only 1/8 of people that admit they've got problems have looked for help. So this is something we definitely need to eradicate, and we need to be more aware and just talk to everyone about this, which is why I'm doing this video today. I think a lot of it can, well, in terms of the male side anyway, I think a lot of it is this whole sort of man up aspect to it. And I hate that expression, to be honest, man up. I mean, it doesn't really say anything, doesn't really make you more of a man, you know, all of this stuff. It's ridiculous, really. If you're not feeling mentally well, then you're not feeling mentally well, you know. If you break your leg, you don't go up to someone and say, oh, man up, that'll be all right, you know. It's literally that. Broken leg, broken mind, it's the same situation. You need to be careful with it. So I hate that whole thing. Some people find it a little bit embarrassing or find shame in the fact that they might have a mental illness. Sort of partly why I'm making a video today, because I want to talk to you about some of mine. I don't have shame in saying that recently I have had probably mostly anxiety. A little bit of depression in my time, but mostly anxiety. I used to go out, I'm not going to say regularly, you know, but I used to go out sort of once every couple of weeks or so, see some friends, mainly with round table people or, you know, some old school friends or something like that. However, you know, in the past 12 months or so, it's kind of changed. With the anxiety and depression coming on a little bit, it's definitely changed, and I've become very comfortable in my own home, essentially. I'm not a total hermit, I'll go out every now and again, but I'm definitely being stopped by myself with the way that I'm feeling. So yeah, examples of this is like I can't really talk to new people without feeling shy or awkward or anything. You know, I used to be alright with that. I used to be alright with socialising. I was fine. I'm not going to say I was everyone's friend, but you know, if a friend of a friend introduced me to someone new, great. If someone at work was new, fantastic, I'd be able to talk to them. However, recently, that hasn't been the case. I've been very shy, been very awkward. When people are making jokes, I've sort of laughed and tried to think to myself, I want to get involved, and then not being able to think of anything and just sitting there silently. And it's not been great, you know. I went to the Pokemon shop recently. And yeah, obviously the opening of it, so everyone there is a die-hard Pokemon fan, yet I was too anxious to go out and give tickets, you know, little business cards to my channel. I was too socially awkward to go and do that, even though these people, obviously Pokemon fans, because they've been there since 6 in the morning, you know, all that sort of stuff, yet I couldn't pluck up the courage to go and do that. That's what my anxiety can do to me. I used to be okay with that sort of thing, but now I just sort of think like, oh, do I look like an idiot for doing this? I don't want to, you know, am I going to look stupid doing that, you know, and, you know, that's what I think. That's pretty much what it's making me to do, you know, making me do. I used to do stand-up comedy as well, as some of you may know. The last stand-up I did, I don't really do it anymore. The last stand-up I did was 13th of May, 2018, so well over a year ago. I don't know if it's directly linked to the passing of my mother. 9 days after that, 22nd of May, she sadly passed away. Lost a battle with cancer, and she's no longer here, no longer with us, except in spirit, of course. But sort of from then, nothing really was funny anymore, if that makes sense. You know, obviously I'd still watch a TV show or a film, and if there was a funny bit, I'd laugh. You know, I'm not going to be an idiot about, you know, I would still laugh at things, laugh at jokes people would make in the office I work, you know, that sort of thing. However, like, when I tried to write something, nothing seemed funny anymore. And ever since that sort of time, that May 2018, I haven't written a single word of any sitcom writing, any stand-up writing, any of my screenplay stuff. You know, absolutely nothing. I've written nothing. The only work I'm doing is with the channel on YouTube, but I wasn't really doing that before anyway, so it's sort of like I found another avenue to put my efforts into. However, like I say, nothing really seemed funny, so I haven't written a single word in over a year, and that alone really gets me down. It's sort of like a catch-22, a rotation, you know. I'm down, so I'm not writing, and because I'm not writing, it's making me feel down, and it's just a vicious cycle. But it's sort of to do with motivation as well. Haven't really had the motivation to do it, and also haven't really had the motivation to do anything physical. My body shape has, you know, increased around the stomach area, shall we say. If you look at me from the back, I'm alright, but if you look at me side on, it's not a nice sight, that I think anyway. And that's not to do with just being lazy, that is to do with some depression and anxiety, not really giving me the motivation to go out and do something, you know, just go out for a half-hour walk around my village or something. I don't have the motivation to do it. And like I say, it isn't because I'm lazy. I'd love to go do that. People would know me, know that I love walking. If I'm going on a holiday, I love walking and everything like that. So it's not really that. It's quite strange how to describe it, you know. Like, anxiety and depression isn't, you know, sitting on a sofa with a tub of ice cream watching Bridget Jones's Diary, you know. It's not skulking around looking down, you know, like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, you know. It's not even sitting by a window and watching the rain fall with your tearful eyes wondering about what to do, you know. None of that is anxiety or depression, you know. Anxiety or depression is not having the motivation to cook when you get home, so you order a takeaway. That's anxiety or depression, you know. It's hating the way you are and looking at the way you were and feeling jealous about it and thinking to yourself, God, I wish I was like that again, and thinking about how you are now and just getting really down and depressed about it, you know. It's not being comfortable enough to go and see your friends, your actual friends, you know. It's becoming too, you know, anxiety and depression is becoming too comfortable in your own skin and just sitting there of an evening doing sod all when you could be out there actually having a good time with friends, you know. That's what it is. And sort of like, to summarise, that's my experiences with it. And I want to tell you all now, it is not shameful to talk about it. You should not be embarrassed to talk about it. I haven't been. That's why I've done this. I want to get more people talking about this. You know, if you're feeling down, or you're feeling lonely, you're feeling even stressed, depressed, you're feeling anxious about anything, just talk to your friends. It doesn't matter if they're hundreds of miles away, give them a message on Facebook, you know. It doesn't matter if they're down the street, go knock on their door, go to the pub, you know. Go back to the old days of childhood where you knock on each other's doors. You know, why the hell not? Just give someone a call, give your friend a call if, you know, if you want to. And likewise, if you think someone else may be depressed or down, give them a call, see if they're alright, you know. There might be something wrong there that they don't want to talk about. You don't even have to talk about what might be wrong. You can just sort of know, oh, they're down, they're not talking much. Let's go out for a pint, you know, or let's go watch a film, you know. So, basically, if you've got an issue, do not feel ashamed to talk about it. And if you think you've got a friend that may have an issue, just go see if they're alright. And hopefully together we can all kick mental illness right up the arse. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. So go out there and make sure we're all fine.